Okay, good morning students and welcome back to the reproduction in flowering plants. So yesterday I explained about the reproduction. Just today again a few more things about reproduction once again. So you can see only some plants, they are producing flowers. Not all the plants, lower plants, they don't produce flowers. And these plants which produce flowers are called angiosperms. So angiosperms are plants, group of plants which produce flowers. And you can see if you examine a flower of a plant, that is the reproductive part of a plant is flower, and the other part is called the vegetative part. We have studied a vegetative reproduction. The reproductive part of a plant is flower. If you examine a flower, you can see it is having four important parts, which include sepal. Outside one is called sepal, and then you can see the second part is called petal, brightly colored part petal. Then there is a stamen. A stamen is having a filament plus anther. This together called a stamen. This is a filament. This part is called anther. This is filament. These two parts together called stamen. Then in the middle you can see the female reproductive structure, that is called pistil or carpel. This is pistil, which is made up of three parts: stigma, style, and this is ovary. And these three parts together called pistil or carpel. This is the basic structure of a flower, and we are going to see pistil, the part pistil in detail. And so I am cleaning this one. Let us go to pistil or carpel, that is the female reproductive part of the flower. If we examine pistil, it is having a, these are the parts: ovary, style, and a stigma. So if you open the ovary, we can see that there is a structure called ovule. This is the ovule. It is inside the ovary. This is ovule. The ovule, if you take a section of the ovule, it is having some coverings outside. We will study that one later. In documents there is a name but not given in the textbook. So you can see this is another part called embryo sac. You need not remember, but there is one important structure, that is the female gamete. This is called female gamete or egg. This part is called female gamete or egg. And this female gamete or female germ cell, another name of gamete is germ cell, female germ cell. The textbook, it is germ cell. Or so now what will happen at the time of reproduction? Other cells are also here. We will study all this one later. And in plus 2, all these other parts also will be studied. And this one is the female gamete. Now a pollen grain is deposited on the stigma with a nucleus inside, and this pollen grain is deposited through wind, water, or insects, and that is what is called pollination. Yesterday we studied what is pollination. The transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma is called pollination. After the pollination, what would happen? You can see from the pollen grain, a small tube will start to grow. A small tube will start to grow, and this is called a pollen tube. This is called a pollen tube. So the nucleus inside the pollen grain, that also will get into the pollen tube. And this is the male germ cell. And slowly you can see the pollen tube will grow down. When the pollen grow, as the pollen grow down, the nucleus also, the male gamete also will go down. And finally, slowly it will come down. The tube will grow down, down and down. And finally, it will come and enter into the ovule. The nucleus also will be here. And that is the, I told you, it is the male germ cell or male gamete, male germ cell. So after some time, this male germ cell, the pollen tube will break. The male germ cell, it will go and fuse with the female germ cell. Both will fuse together. Both the two cells will fuse together, and then you can see a zygote will be formed. So pollen tube growth, after the growth of the pollen tube, it will directly enter inside the ovule. So this is the ovule, this is the ovary, this is the style, and this is the stigma. And after the pollination and fertilization, this fusion of male cell and female cell is called fertilization. And after the fertilization, what would happen? You know that the style, stigma, and all this will fall down, perish, and so only the ovary will remain. Only the ovary will remain. And this ovary, it will become the fruit, and the ovule inside, it will become the seed. Ovary, fruit, ovule becomes seed. And the seed inside some flower, some fruits may have more than one seed, meaning many ovules will be there in that one. And what will happen to this zygote? After the fusion of male cell and female cell, zygote is formed. What would happen to the zygote? Zygote, single cell inside, it will start multiplication. You can see one cell will become two cells. Slowly, and you can see it will multiply. And slowly, inside here, inside the seed, it will become what is called a embryo. So zygote change to embryo. So embryo, if you examine an embryo, these are the parts of it. So embryo, meaning inside the seed, embryo is there from the zygote. It formed from the zygote. The embryo will have following parts. If you examine the embryo, pea seed or any other seed, you can see it will have two cotyledons, and this is the fleshy part which usually we eat. These are called the cotyledons. Cotyledons are the fleshy part of that seed, and connected to this cotyledon, you can see the embryonal axis. This is actually called embryonal axis, which has two parts. One part is directed downwards, one upwards. The upper part is called plumule, and the lower part is called radicle. It is called the lower part is called radicle. Radicle. So if you grow a plant, so what is the function of cotyledon is for the growth of this seed. For the growth of the seed, food is needed, and this food is provided by the cotyledons. And if you plant a seed inside the soil, this is soil. Slowly you can see after some time the plumule will come out, and it will become the aerial part of the plant above the soil, and this is it will become the shoot system of the plant. The plumule will become the root system, and you can see the radicle, this part, it will become the root system. So you have to learn how to draw this diagram also, and these are the parts of embryo, and also not difficult to understand. Now human reproduction, we are going with the human reproduction. human reproduction. In human reproduction, the method of reproduction is sexual reproduction, as we know, and the two gametes, that is the male gamete and female gamete, they are produced by the male and female respectively. If you examine the growth of a child, the child early growth, you can see general growth takes place. That means all parts of the body grows equally. But later at the time of puberty, that is teenage, you can see the general growth will retard, it will become less, and you can see a certain part of the body will grow faster. This teenage period, you can some part of the body grow faster, and new changes will develop. And this stage where the new changes are happening, it is called puberty, P-U-B-E-R-T-Y, puberty. And some changes are common in both in girls and boys, that is a formation of hair in some part of the body like armpit is a common in boys and girls. Pimples on the face, pimples means mokuru, on the face also is a common characteristic. But there are differences between male and female characteristic, certain changes are there, and these are called secondary sexual characteristics. That is different in some are different from male to female, male and female. Male, you can see the one noticeable difference is facial hair. Hair grows on the face. Hair grows on the face. And that is one change that is specifically in male. And also you can see they will start producing sperms. Sperms will be produced, and that is also another change that is happening only in boys, teenage. And then the second one is about girls. Changes include breast development, and also you can see menstruation will start. So these are changes that takes place in girls. So actually there is difference in the certain differences are also there, and we are going to see the male reproductive system. So if you examine the male reproductive system, you can see two testes. They are outside the body, and you can see it is hanging outside the body. If you examine animals also, you can see male dogs and all. The testis is, these are called testis or testes plural. So this is testis, and that is outside the body, hanging outside the body, and it is in a bag called scrotum. So animals also it is the same thing. So it is in a bag or in a skin bag, and it is called a scrotum. And why it is kept outside, but in a female it is inside, ovary is inside the lower abdominal part, but in a male it is outside. Why? Because for the sperm production, the temperature should be less than that of the body temperature. So meaning our body temperature is 37. So this scrotum being outside, it has a lesser temperature which provides suitable temperature for sperm production. So that is about scrotum and testis. And testis is a part of the body which produce sperms, that is a male cell, male gamete. And from the testis, after the production of sperms are like this with a head and a tail, and it is collected by a tube, and the tube is going into the body. This tube is called vas deferens. This tube is called vas deferens. and after getting into the body, then again it will come out. It is coming out through another organ, and this organ through which it comes out, that is the penis. But before it comes out, you can see it is connected with the two important glands, and these glands are called, one gland is here, connected here, two glands are there, the two glands, it is connected with the two glands. One is called cervical prostate gland, other one is called seminal vesicle. Two glands, one is seminal vesicle, and the other one is called prostate gland. This opening is called, through the penis, is called urethra. And actually these two glands, but connected to this urethra, one more tube is there, and you can see that is from the urinary bladder. So urine is stored here. This is the bladder, urinary bladder. The urinary bladder, and there is a tube connected to the urethra. This tube also is connected to the urethra. This is the urethra of, so this urinary bladder also is connected, meaning urine also can come through the same urethra together with the sperms. So then what is the function of seminal vesicle and prostate gland? Seminal vesicle and prostate gland, they produce some secretion, like our saliva producing. This also produce secretions, juice, which the function of this is the secretions of both the prostate and the seminal vesicle. It will mix with the sperm produced inside the testis. Sperm is produced here, and when it comes here, it will mix with the fluid from seminal vesicle and prostate gland. And when the sperm come out, it is coming out with these secretions also. So what is the function of these secretion? This secretion, it helps the movement of the sperm. One function is, it helps the movement of the sperm. So I told you it is having tail, a head portion and a tail. So it can move through the fluid produced by seminal vesicle and prostate gland. And also it provides nutrition, food to the sperms. So what is the question can be asked, what is the function of prostate gland and seminal vesicle? It produces secretions which helps the transport of sperms, and also transport, it is going out through that fluid, and also it provides nutrition, food to the sperms. So this is the male reproductive system, and the diagram is there, and you can see the sperms are coming out through this urethra, and also at the same time there is only one opening for urine also. So urine and sperm also can come through the same opening, but in female there are separate opening for this one. So this is all about the male reproductive system. So I stop here. So male reproductive system, once again, the testis is inside a bag outside called the scrotum, which provides suitable temperature for sperm production, to this tube that is connected from the testis to the penis, that is called the vas deferens. And the vas deferens, when it reaches into the body, it has a connection with the two glands which provide secretions, and the sperm will mix with this secretion, and also the urinary bladder also is connected here. So meaning the function of this secretion is to provide food for the developing, food for the sperms, nutrition, and also it helps the transport of sperms. So next is female reproductive system, and two important, here also one more important hormone is controlling the secondary sexual characteristic and sperm production, that is called testosterone. Testosterone is a sperm, it is a hormone is a hormone which control the secondary sexual characteristic in male and also the production of sperm. Everything is controlled by testosterone, a hormone produced in the testis. So next class we will see female reproductive system.